Hey, what's up, Pop-Up Camper family? Welcome back to It's Poppin'. So today we are, I guess, officially starting the renovation for our 2008 Jayco Select 12 HW. I know we've been doing a lot of repair work and kind of getting it ready to go camping, but we are finally doing the renovation, and specifically we are going to be redoing our cabinets. And this is a method that we haven't seen anywhere else, and so we're excited to share this with you as an option going forward for renovating your own pop-up camper.
As we said, we're going to be trying something a little bit different, and that's that we're going to be trying this Minwax Polyshades, which is actually a 2-in-1 product. It's a polyurethane plus stain, and so this is kind of a one-and-done product. There's no priming. All you have to do is sand and apply in the number of layers that you want to achieve the color. And so we used a Bombay mahogany, but there's just about a million different colors that you could use.
And it's kind of like a reddish brown.
Yeah, kind of a red brown. And this is in opposition to what we've done in the past, which is using a little bit more of a standard, either a like cabinet paint, something like this from Dutch Boy, or we've also used just like a standard premium paint here. It's
so Glidden premium paint.
There it goes. And so we've used those different paints on the Palomino and the Starcraft in the past, but that's always meant that we've had to prime it with some sort of oil-based primer, as well as sand it and do all of those additional steps. So we decided to go a little bit different this time and go with something that's kind of a one-step process.
I think what we found so far from doing it is that the Polyshades, even though it's less steps per se, it's a little bit more tedious, as you'll kind of see putting it down. So it takes about the same amount of time, but it's a totally different effect on the cabinets, and I think you guys will really like it. And as an aside, we now have apparel, so feel free to hopefully go check out the It's Poppin' apparel. We have a couple different shirts, some sweatshirts, hats, fun stuff like that. So definitely go check that out. Just a small aside. So nevertheless, let's get into renovating our cabinets.
So right now I'm putting the first coat of Polyshades onto the back side of the doors, and the most important part of this process is that you're going to use as little as possible when you go and you start, because you want to be able to move the product around so that you get a nice thin layer of the Polyshades on your surface. And so you'll see that I'm barely just dipping my brush into the product and then I'm moving my way across the door. And you'll notice that I never go back to an area that I have already sort of moved on from, because if I do that, then it's gonna start to smear the already dried product, and you're gonna get some funky texture and lines in there. And you'll see here I got a little bit more product down there than I wanted, and so I'm just gonna continue to sort of get that product off my brush, move it over toward the right again, and start working it in, so that way I don't end up with too thick of a layer here in the center. And this stuff is fairly forgiving so long as you're working with a section of the product that is wet. Alright, so it's the next day. We've let coat number 1 of the polystain dry for about 24 hours, though you can start reapplying in under 6 hours. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna sand down the first coat with a little bit of 000 steel wool, and then we'll be ready to put on coat number 2.
So we're finally done with the cabinets. Took a little while, but essentially that's because it took either 3 or 4 coats on each surface. So unlike the flatter surface, the ones without bevels, essentially 3 coats, whereas on a lot of like the drawers, the cabinet faces, those more intricate surfaces, it took about 4 coats. And I think that's just because we put it down a little bit lighter just to get that effect, that wood grain effect. So it'll be something you'll just have to kind of play with and go with however light or dark you like, kind of put as many coats on as you feel comfortable, with the caveat that of course this stuff does dry, at least in our experience, it dries darker than it goes on. So obviously let it sit, see how you like it, and go from there. Alright guys, so let us know what you think about this like polystain look on the pop-up camper cabinets as opposed to just, your traditional painting. We really like how they turned out. We will see how durable it is. As far as we know, no one else has done this, so not sure about the durability, but between the stain and the polyurethane, hopefully it holds up well, with the dogs hitting it, bumping into it, us bumping things into it. We'll see. Time will tell. We'll see. So let us know what you guys think. As far as what's next up in our renovation, of course, we just have to hit those walls with a quick paint. I think we're going to go with what color?
I don't know. It's like a light gray, something really basic. It's the same stuff that we used in the Palomino. So
yeah, so you'll see that come together with the cabinets, of course, and then beyond the wall paint, of course, we have to do flooring so we can cover up all that stain that got on the floor, and then it's going to really start coming together. And once we get that flooring in, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, hopefully we see you in the next one. If not, hopefully we see you out there camping.